Okay, so yes, we're doing our third show, and it's kind of important to do because, yeah, Jim Kimmel, Stephen Colbert. I know some of those have been a while in happening, but the reason I also bring up Jon Stewart is he's basically saying things that I can't say yet according to YouTube censors. I'll get to that in a second. So, and we then ask, why are we here? Why should we care? Well, remember that free speech is we're allowed to pretty much say anything, but we have to be okay with the repercussions. Now, do I think that Jimmy Kimmel's bosses were well within their rights to shut him down? Yeah, they were within their rights, but they should have said as such instead of trying to half-ass without saying exactly why. We're doing this because he doesn't reflect the opinions of this station or this network. Yeah, ABC, Sinclair, and everything. I would believe that if again I state Sinclair Broadcasting because how shall we talk about how many things that you talk about causing all the fear? I mean, I can bring up the John Oliver entire expose he did about you for about 30 minutes. But ain't nobody got time for that, and I'm pretty sure that Warner Brothers would probably get a little ticked at me. So I'm gonna leave that alone. I'll let you guys go search for it. But suffice to say, John Oliver did an entire thing on Last Week Tonight for Sinclair Broadcasting. Number one. Number two, the entire reason that there was even a problem is because they're getting ready to go through, I think it's a merger or an acquisition, something. And hey, yeah, as Brooke in the Air said, it's an entire acquisition of something. Now, before I get too deep into this, these are Tech Minion's opinions. They are not part of Brooke in the Air. They are my opinions only. And as such, I tend to get a little annoyed and heated when certain stuff like this happens. Now, do we have free speech? Last time I checked, it was in the Constitution as the First Amendment, but we'll get to that in a second. Number two, for those of you who are freaking out, Jimmy Kimmel was getting money to run the show from his broadcasters. This is no different than if you watch the show The Newsroom on HBO. Yes, I did 2 HBO plugs at once. I don't care. Where certain politics have to happen. And I'm sorry. All Jimmy Kimmel did was say some things that this is kind of fully expected to happen. Didn't say anything insulting about Charlie Kirk. Nothing whatsoever. But because the person in charge of the FCC, Brendan Carr, got all pissed, for some reason, I'm not even sure if Brendan Carr knew exactly what he was angry about. He probably, like everybody else, saw the highlights on Fox News because that's probably all the entire administration watches. But I digress. Don't even get me started on them. That there should have been a problem. And because of that, he threatens to say, oh, yes, we're going to potentially stop the acquisition because any acquisition requires approval. It's what the FCC does. They say, yes, you can acquire this, so you're not a total monopoly. Now, are we going through monopolies? Yes, but that's an entire another different discussion. So, is what they did okay? No. Because it sets precedents. And they're trying to say, oh, yes, we should control everything because we're worried about being offensive or not offensive. Here's the problem. If we just take it in the Fox News context, which Yeah. The Fox News context, where I forget whether that's where Brendan Carr came from or not. That's beside the point. Fox News has been known to say some very offensive things, so much to the point that they got sued for a lot. Tucker Carlson has been sued. Gretchen Carlson, whatever. Anyway, Fox News people have been sued for defamation. By technicality, the better option would have been for Charlie Kirk's family, if they were offended, to have sued Jimmy Kimmel for defamation. However, that is actually protected because of parody and comedy. Those parts of free speech are protected. Now, more than likely, Legal Devin Stone is going to go through a whole thing, but he's kind of busy. Reason being is Jimmy Kimmel, from the last thing that I knew, I'll probably have to find it, is suing to get his job back. Now, mind you, it might not be to get his job back after the whole debacle he's been through. I wouldn't want that thing back, besides to reach the many viewers who watch his show on a regular basis. Oh, because he thinks they're going to go for defamation?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to reverse defamation. Yeah, so Legal is probably going to do it after the fact, but since he is involved in the case, supposedly, that's what I've been hearing, I could be wrong, he has to make sure he doesn't tamper with everything. Now, could we see people like Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Kimmel making their own news network? There have been rumors. Would it be a good or bad thing? I don't know, to be honest. They have basically the star power. They have the logistics. Pulling basically 3 massive shows worth of people would annihilate that level. And then you get other comedians like Taylor Tomlinson on there. All of the people from... Yeah, as Brooke in the Air said, they could get Rachel Maddow. Hell, they could get Anderson freaking Cooper, and it wouldn't surprise me. Because with the way that CNN, Fox, and MSNBC have been working, I hate to say it, and this is going to be a personal opinion for why I do not usually watch the news. I get it from other places. Y'all are burning out people with the 24-hour news cycle. When you cover the same stuff over and over again, we've heard it 1,000 times before, and at that point, nobody cares. It's the reason why we're all so frustrated. How can you guys not get it? Once you cover the news every so often, you need to cover it in tiny snippets. Because it's not news when you bring something up and then you ask about it. It's the reason why the late night comedians will make fun of you. Because you butchered something, or you left before you looked. That is what happens. Now, should it annoy everybody? Yes. Is it going to? Who knows? But what it comes down to is number one, it's why everybody is saying the mainstream media is bad. Whether or not it is bad, I know I'm going to sound like a bit of a conspiracy theorist here. The mainstream media has been corrupted by its own faults. You cannot break down a single subject for 3, 4, 5 hours when nothing new is going on. Also, with every single time, you're giving somebody more leverage. And yes, I'm going to bash Donald Trump on this for a second. Donald Trump got so much free press from the mainstream media, not just Fox, who loved him, but MSNBC talking about, oh dear God, he did this, CNN talking about, oh dear God, he did this. And now, me. Every single discussion gets that person more leverage, more information. More, ooh, look, this person did this thing. We must talk about it. And many people will parrot the opinions directly from the media because some of them can't think for themselves. It's easier to take somebody else's words and defend it that way. So the long story short is think for yourself. Find out information, do research. Now, this is a little bit short because, again, it was a single subject and I've got to do more research. So we'll probably be back in about 2-3 days. I mean, this is Saturday. I'll keep trying to do things at about 10:30 Pacific time because that way it'll be 2:30 for y'all on the East Coast. Or you can watch it later. I will check the comments. But anyway, I'll see y'all all around. Like I said, think for yourselves. You know what to do. Do your research. Ask questions. All right. See you around.